Shamu says that it belonged to Ramu's land, so it belongs to Ramu. But Ramu says that Shamu has found it, so it belongs to Shamu only. So here the controversy starts. That is why these two friends have come to King Krishnadev Raya's court. So very interesting. Krishnadev Raya was amused. So Krishnadev Raya was amused by this thing that these two friends, they want each other to own this precious swan. Otherwise, generally in friendship, what happens? Everybody wants his own benefit. Everybody wants to own this precious swan. Now, who can settle this dispute among the friends? Who should the swan belong to? Krishnadev Raya asked the courtiers. Now, Krishnadev Raya, he put this question before his courtiers that who can solve this conflict? Who can solve this problem? Who should take this swan? Now, the problem is among the different courtiers. The king has put in front the problem to the courtiers that it was indeed a strange situation. Actually, it was a strange situation. Usually, the disputes that come to king's court involve people fighting over positions. Fighting over positions means everybody wants to own the position, own the precious things. But here these two friends, they want each other to take this precious swan. This was exact opposite. Yes, indeed, it was opposite because these two friends, they were selfless. Then Chatur Pandit, a very clever Pandit in the court of Krishnadev Raya, he spoke. He said that, "Dear king, this swan has been obtained from the earth of this kingdom. It is a sign from the gods. I request you to grant me the permission to take this swan home and inspect it." Now here, the Chatur Pandit, as he was very clever, so he intended to take the swan home. He said that because this is found from the earth of this kingdom, so we should take it. We should take hold over it. And he tried to say that this belonged to the kingdom. It is a good sign from the gods. They have blessed us with this precious swan. Now he wants the permission to take this swan home and inspect it. Inspect it means examine it properly. Then I can consult the religious text and conduct the necessary rituals that such a find demands for the well-being of the king and the kingdom. So now he wanted to convince the king that because this has been found from our own land, that is why we should own it. And behind this, he wanted to take the precious gems and stones from the swan, and then he said that I need it for inspection. And then he said that I would consult the religious texts and then conduct necessary rituals like a kind of puja. He wanted that I will do this, and then I will tell you that was this swan a good thing, a good sign for our country or not. So behind this trick, what was his main intention? His main intention was to, everybody came to know about this main intention. What was that? Let's see. As soon as Chatur Pandit said this, everyone realized that it was his cunning plan to steal some of the gems and diamonds from the statue. So everybody came to know that the Chatur Pandit wanted to steal all the gems and precious stones from this swan. After his inspection would be over, the swan would have lost most of the valuable stones. So everybody came to know that when the inspection by Chatur Pandit would be over, the swan would have lost most of its valuable stones because it would have been stolen by the Chatur Pandit. Now the second person whom it was asked, he said what he suggested, The king's, that was second person was the king's treasurer. Treasurer, who is the treasurer? Treasurer is the person who keeps the records of all the wealth of the kingdom. So the king's treasurer spoke next. Your Majesty, I think the swan belongs to the royal treasury. We would take possession of it. He said that as this swan has been found from our land, so it should belong to the court's treasury. Court's treasury, you know, khazana. Rajasi khazana means the treasure is the wealth, khazana, belonging to the kingdom. So he said that we should belong it. We should possess it. Possess means हमें इसको ले लेना चाहिए. So Krishnadev Raya shook his head in disagreement. Disagreement means the king nodded that no, I don't like this suggestion. Now, then he turned to his wise and witty minister Tenali Rama. So there was another minister who was very wise and he was famous for his wisdom. Now the king asked Tenali Rama to give his own suggestion. Now Tenali, let me hear your suggestion. Your Highness, I think we should auction the swan. Auction, you know, when something is to be sold, it is put forth in front of many people. The one who gives the maximum value, maximum money for the thing, that thing is given to that person. So now he said that we should auction this swan. The proceeds should then be used to build a beautiful garden on the main street of the kingdom. He said that the amount which we will get after auctioning the swan, we will use that amount to build a beautiful garden on the main street of the kingdom. And then he suggested that it should have a freshwater fountain and shady trees. He suggested that the garden would have a freshwater fountain as well as shady trees, and travelers from around the world should be able to rest there. And the travelers, those who would be coming across our kingdom, would be able to rest there in the garden. We should have a pillar in the garden on which the wonderful story of these two selfless and generous friends should be engraved. He said that there in the center we will build a pillar on which the story of these two selfless friends would be written, would be engraved. Engraved means carved, written in thick letters. Thus their exemplary friendship means an inspirational friendship will become famous and be remembered for generations to come. He said that when the people would sit in the garden, the travelers, they would sit in the garden, they will read the story of these two friends and it will be an inspiration for the coming generations. Both the friends were pleased to hear this suggestion. Now both the friends, they also agreed. They were also very happy to hear this suggestion. The king and the courtiers praised Tenali Rama's focus on the greater common good. So king also praised this suggestion and everybody was happy to see the common good. Common good means the goodness for all the people, not only for the true friends, not only for the king, not only for one person, but for everyone, even for the coming generations too. So the wisdom of Tenali Rama is always appreciated by everyone. Here also he has given an appreciable suggestion. So here we finish with the chapter. So friendship is more precious than expensive things. So everybody should learn that friendship is the one where no valuable things matters, only the friendship matters.